I've had a lot of people like, you can imagine, I get a lot of requests like, help me with shorts, please. If that's a friend, I will gladly help. I will warn you. I will warn you about the consequences of doing shorts, but if you decide that's what you want, then I will help. What are the consequences of shorts? The people who like to watch shorts are not necessarily the people who like to watch streams. Some of them do. The vast majority don't. I mean, it's with any form of content. If you're just gonna stick to one thing, then don't be surprised if people don't necessarily want to watch you do another. That's why people tend to drill in that it's important to keep doing what you want to do, otherwise the one thing that might pop off is completely off from what you want to make. Yeah, honestly, like, I'm more interested in doing long-form stuff, so that's kind of what happened with me in the shorts as well. I do not blame management for encouraging me to make shorts because it fucking worked. Unfortunately, it worked in a way that would be much better for a person with different aspirations than I. If you did come from the shorts, this isn't like a, ugh, shorts viewers. Unless it's funnier that way, in which case it absolutely is, because I am nothing if not a little clown. But it's just like with any kind of content creation thing. If you mostly stream, don't be surprised if people aren't gonna watch you like do different styles of videos. Like I'll probably start doing different stuff at some point, and if you're from the shorts and you don't really want to stick around from that, like, what fucking right do I have to complain if you're not being rude about it? I'll complain about the situation. I'll complain about the follies of human nature. But, like, I'm not gonna complain about... Stacy? I saw you unsubscribed from my YouTube channel. You bitch! No, you can't be... You can't be unreasonable like that. If you don't do what you want to do when it comes to content creation, you'll just be driven insane. Especially if you want to do this as like a job. Like, you gotta make money. That's obvious, but like, there are different ways of making money. I very much am going in with the mentality right now of like, you know, I want to save up for my house and shit. And I'd quite like to do it the way that I want to do it, if that makes sense. Because I know, like, because genuinely, with shorts, and like, this isn't complaining about the audience, but like, genuinely, you know, do I feel like I have 800,000 subscribers? No. I get a lot of pushback when I say that, and like, I understand. But like, I'd rather have gotten, I would rather I had gotten to this level that I'm on right now by doing content that I'm like more satisfied with, I think. Like, if you enjoyed the shorts, good for you. And I'm glad, like, it also looks like a lot of content creators kind of looked at the shorts and went, oh, that's a good idea. I'll have some of that. And honestly, like, don't blame you. I'm happy for everyone who enjoyed the shorts. But now I think it's about time that I started making the kind of content that I'd actually like to watch. What makes you happy, Rin? Whatever you do, true fans will support you. I appreciate the sentiment. I'm not gonna say that if you don't want to watch, like, when I change my content or whatever, that you're not like, oh, you were never a real fan. I feel like you can be a fan of a certain era of someone's content, for lack of a better term. Also, 500 bucks. You'll love to see it. I'm probably gonna, like, bring in a new audience, and it's gonna be a little bit different, but it's good to have, like, the baseline audience, I think. I can't remember who I was speaking about this to the other day, but I had a chat with someone. Basically, like, before you get really big and your audience kind of explodes, you kind of want like a base viewership, because that's kind of going to guide how the rest of the new people coming in start acting. So like, any of you who decide to stick around for like new stuff once I start changing things up are probably going to be like the baseline for the vibes. So new people are gonna be coming in and they'll be like, oh, this is how we behave around here. So if you could behave like nicely, that'll be wonderful, thank you. I mean, there's a lot of reasons really why you think you want to like blow up instantly. No, it's not gonna help you. You want a baseline because, you know, you want to figure out what actual content you want to make, but you don't want to go viral right away because it's not as helpful as you'd think it is. There is a difference between going viral and becoming successful. That Venn diagram, not a circle. Two different circles, slightly overlapping. Going viral is not like success, it's an opportunity to get success, if that makes sense. You don't get successful off of like one successful post or one, you know, one thing that gets 1 million views. I mean, even in like the VTuber community, right? Like, I shouldn't call anyone out just because that is going to look a little bit like punching down, isn't it? But I can definitely think of examples where, oh, what's this person doing now? Oh, well, they didn't really, like, you can't really like blame people for not properly leveraging a situation because it just comes in so suddenly, right? I mean, in my case, it's like, you know, I have to leverage I know a lot of eyes are gonna be on me next week because of the, like, the going indie thing. And I'm very much trying to make sure that I use that to my advantage. Because I want to be able to turn around and be like, you know, whilst you're here, can I interest you in a bunch of silly little guys? Woo! I'm not gonna see much success just by virtue of like, oh, a lot of people are looking at me because I'm like, I'm leaving the company or whatever. I can't rely on just that. I have to work with that. Going viral is something you have to like work aside. That's not the win condition. It's like how getting into an agency isn't the win condition. It's something you have to work with. I mean, I feel like there's definitely a lot of VTubers where like they debut and then you never really hear about them again. Because they don't really take full advantage of, you know, if you have a lot of eyes on you, you kind of want to make an impression. And you kind of want to keep following through with that. Especially because there are so many people debuting. We've slowed down from the VTuber boom, but like it's still competitive when it comes to debuts and stuff. I do feel the need to remind people like, it's not 2018, you're not Keys Not I. It's not 2020, you're not like Hollow EN Gen 1. You are not going to get attention for being like, for just being a VTuber. Maybe you can find novelty in like being the first VTuber in the whatever community. I don't know if that's really viable anymore, but maybe it's something to think about. Like here's my hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take, but I haven't heard this before, so. If Keys Not I debuted today in the same way that she did like back in, was it 18? Oh, I don't remember. But if Keys Not I like debuted the same way she did in, let's say it's 2018, she would not be like one of the biggest VTubers. Because a lot of the reason, like she worked with it, absolutely. I'm not saying it was all luck or whatever. But one of the reasons Kizuna really popped off was just because she was like the first VTuber. And everyone was like, this is a new thing. That's very interesting. We will watch her career with great interest. And like, thank God she actually like, you know, set up all of that kind of, those genre conventions, because it did work out well for the rest of us. But it's kind of in the same way as like, you know, anyone doing an old YouTube meta wouldn't be like as successful as they were back in the day. But you kind of have to remember that. You can't just keep doing the same things that everyone else has been successful with, because it's... I'll just buy 2 of these. Because it's already been done and we've seen it before. Come on, man. Yeah, that's my hot take. Or my dual hot takes, I guess. You'll get a lot of advice if you want to start a Let's Play channel. A lot of people will straight up say, don't bother, because like, it's already so saturated that like, it's incredibly difficult. It is very saturated. There are still ways to stand out. In the same way that you can't get successful on YouTube by doing old YouTube metas, and I'm not familiar with Twitch, but I presume it does have like its old conventions that have kind of passed. In the same way as that doesn't work, you're not gonna work as a VTuber just by being a VTuber. It's very like, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Okay, why?